Welcome everyone to the first day of the World Rapid Championships 2023. This is the Wildr Recap of the day. I'm going to show you a couple of games that caught my attention and I really loved them. Also, I'm going to tell you all about the tournament. Now, this is the tournament playing venue right now. Beautiful playing hall. And it's so spacious, so nicely done. If you see, each and every board is a single table with a chess set, and players have a lot of space here. It's also very nice. The ceiling is high. You get a feeling of playing in this grand setting. So, 5 games in the open were played and 4 games in the women. What happened? The good news is that in the open, we have 2 Indians in the lead, Vidit Gujarati and Arjun Erigaisi. But along with them, there's also Magnus Carlsen and Ivan Cheparino and Yu Yangi. So 5 leaders, all of them on 4.5 out of 5. There were other Indians who also played quite well, most notably Bharat Subramaniam. This young boy scored 4 out of 5, was unbeaten today, and we should definitely follow him. In the women's section, we have 2 leaders, Nurgul Salimova and Zuzhiner. Amongst Indians, Vaishali is on 3.5 points. She's doing really well. Humpy is on 3. Padmini Raut is also on 3 points. So there are a lot of girls who are also playing pretty well in this tournament. Now, on Wildr, there is a contest which we have started. It's a challenge where you have to write down the best moment of the day. And this challenge link, I'm going to post it in the description, also in the pinned comment. You can go there and write about your best moment of the day. And the best ones who write every day, we're going to do this every day, will get very good prizes. The first prize is 10,000 rupees plus Surya Ganguly's video course, volume 1 and 2. Second is 5,000. Third is 3,000. So try it out, because now I'm going to show you what is my moment of the day. And by the way, it need not be a chess moment. It could be a picture, it could be a video, it could be something, it could be the result, it could be anything, the best moment of the day for you. Let me take you to a board here. I want to show you the game between Holt Conrad, who was white, and Shakriyar Mamedyaro. I think this was the game of the day, and I really enjoyed watching this. Okay, let's have a look at the position. Now, if you notice closely, each side has 3 pieces, 2 rooks, but very complex position. You know, the rook is here standing, very weird. This pawn is slightly weak. But also notice that the knight can jump here and fork the king and queen, but right now the white knight is stopping it. So what white did here is try to push the bishop away. Now this bishop, if it takes the pawn, then I want to take this pawn in the center. So what did black do? Mamedyaro, who is always known for his combative play, he pushed the pawn to e3. Now notice that there is a beautiful battery here, but it's controlled by the bishop and controlled by the rook. So when the pawn was pushed here, white pushed his own pawn. And I think black should have taken the pawn, and after knight takes, there is e takes d2, and the position remains complex. But instead, black blundered by taking this. It looks like a strong move, but it's a mistake. And white now made a queen. This is why this game was so beautiful, because another queen was made on the board, and very importantly, you cannot do anything because there is a mate here already threatened. And if you, by the way, take here, I can simply come back with my queen and I'm a queen up. So that's the reason why queen was taken. And now I want you to pause the video here and think, what is the best move for white? Think here, what is the best move? And actually Conrad wasn't able to find it. He was still winning, but there was something better. Yes, the right move is the stunning rook e7. It's a deflection. You don't take the queen. You come one step ahead because after takes, there's a checkmate here. And so you have to go back here. But if you go back, then this is a checkmate. So you try to put your knight in. I still take. If you take with the queen, it's still checkmate. So you go back to g8 and I give a check, king here and mate. So this way white could have won the game, but instead this wasn't played. He took the queen, he made another queen. This is what makes the game even more spectacular. King came up, and the thing is, if you give a check, I'll bring my rook back and I'm winning. So here, by the way, there's a knight here. The move came queen check. Very, very interesting move. Takes, and now a knight fork here. He brought the king up, takes, bishop takes, and the problem here for black is that bishop is hanging, there's a mate here, and so played bishop g7, so that if I take, you take back. If I take your bishop, my knight is hanging, but in came rook e7, there was a pin, and white went on to win the game. It was such an amazing game, this one, like fireworks on the board, and also I think it was a favorite of the commentators and many others. Now I want to show you one last moment of the day, which is another amazing thing that happened. And we go to the board of Magnus Carlsen. This is where Magnus plays. He was sitting there. Let me sit on Magnus's chair. You know, you don't often get that chance to sit here. This is Magnus. Parham was sitting here. Parham Maksudlu, world-class GM. And in this position, Parham took. He could have castled and his position is fine, but he took. And Magnus now showed his class. He took with the pawn, and look at his center control. It's amazing. Again, Parham could have castled, but he's an ambitious guy. He took here. Magnus took with the knight, and now Magnus is attacking the queen. If you take the knight, then pawn takes, there's a check to the king, and suddenly it's shaky. So Parham said, no problem, I'll play my queen to c3. Magnus brought his rook in the center. Important to note, if you castle, problem is a fork. Okay, so you can't castle. So Parham plays his rook to d2, and he says, next move now I'm castling. Well, Magnus stops it very subtly by queen g6, because if you castle now, I just take here with a check. You can't take with the pawn. You have to take with the queen, and now your rook is simply hanging on d2. So that's the reason why Parham was under big pressure here, and he played the move king f1, which was not a great move. Magnus pushed his pawn to f4, opening up the bishop's diagonal here, queen's diagonal. And now he played his knight back to e1. So Parham was just trying to somehow grovel and try to save his position. Magnus now swung his queen over. It's a very cool game. He put his pawn on h4. Then the rook came on c8, attacking this pawn. Pawn came to b3. Magnus pushed with b5. Very nice move, by the way. King came here. Pawn takes pawn. Pawn takes pawn. And now black was a pawn up. Queen came here. Queen came here. So they reached this position. And you know, Magnus pushed this pawn here in this position here. And this is a drawn position. From a winning position, Magnus reached here into a drawn endgame. But they played on and on. They played moves. Magnus brought his king here. Parham brought his pawns here. The thing is, at some point when the draw was claimed in this position, Magnus, Parham at some point brought his hand forward, and Magnus thought, oh, he's resigning. But actually, it turns out that Parham was calling the arbiter for the 50 move rule, that, oh, the last pawn move was done 50 moves ago. Well, it was not the case. The pawn move was done less than 50 moves, so the arbiter gave a win to Magnus. But it all was very chaotic, and we have a video on that on our channel, so you can check it out, that entire episode. I really like this game because I was standing here exactly watching Magnus play. You could see him trying to sort of fight it out, and there were a lot of top players who were seeing these games. So these two games were somehow my best moments of today. I'm also very excited that Vidit and Magnus Carlsen will play against each other tomorrow. So guys, you stay tuned for that and try to follow it. But for now, do go to Wildr, check it out. If you haven't downloaded it, download it, and do put your post in the challenge for the best moments of World Rapid and Blitz 2023. This is Sagar Shah signing off. Bye bye.